Before you scroll, stop for a moment. This message is not random at all. It is meant for the person who has stayed strong for so long, stayed quiet for too long, and felt tired in ways that others do not fully understand. There is someone who does not look at you as a challenge, a prize, or just a temporary feeling. They look at you and sense something much deeper inside. They feel a strong wish to stay close, to protect you, and to ease the heavy load you carry without saying much. And if you have ever asked yourself whether a love like this truly exists, stay with these words, because what you are about to hear could touch a part of you that has waited a very long time to feel seen. Not everyone will listen all the way through. Most people look away when the truth comes too near. But if you are still here reading, that already says a lot. It shows that some part of your heart is truly paying attention. And by the time you finish this, you may start to see your own life, your own hurts, and your own path ahead in a fresh new way. So take a slow breath and stay until the end. The kind of love we are talking about here does not make loud noise. It does not run after attention. It comes in gently. But when it is real, it changes so many things in life. If you're tired of toxic relationships and want the real Jungian truth about who actually wants to heal you, hit like right now. This person wants to marry you, but not for any shallow reasons. They are not interested in looks alone. Not in status, and not because they feel empty and need someone to fill a gap. They want to marry you because something inside them feels truly moved by your heart. They notice how much you have carried on your own. They sense the quiet fights you never talk about in detail. They see the brave face you show, the steady voice you use, and the way you continue even when days feel heavier than anyone realizes. And instead of stepping back from that, they feel drawn even closer. Not from pity, but from deep respect, from real care, and from a quiet love that grows stronger the more they truly know you. They think about you with a serious kind of love. A love that does not need to show off. A love that does not require any stage. It is patient, watchful, and steady every day. They notice your smile, of course, but they also notice your quiet moments. They feel the small drops in your energy. They see the times when you say, "You are okay," but your eyes tell a different story. And every single time, they notice that something inside them repeats the same thought. I want to be the safe place where this person can finally rest. I want to be the one who helps carry what they have carried alone for so long. If these words already speak to you, keep reading, because it only becomes deeper from here. When they picture a life together with you, they are not thinking about a perfect wedding event, nice pictures, or what others might say. They think about real everyday life. The early mornings when you feel worn out, before the day even begins. The quiet nights when old memories return without any warning. The days full of pressure. The days full of doubt, and the days when you feel very tired. They imagine being right there through all of it, not just in your happy times, but in the hidden and difficult ones too. Comment heal if you've ever wished someone would truly take your pain away instead of adding to it. They picture themselves honoring you, guarding your peace, and slowly helping you breathe with more ease. They dream of a close bond built on trust, patience, honesty, and the kind of understanding that comes from seeing someone far beyond the surface. They do not want to stand near your life from a distance. They want to stand with you, inside it, step by step, day by day, through good times and hard times, through hope and healing, through every season that brings challenges for both of you. And here is something very powerful. They are not trying to save you as if something is broken in you. They do not see you that way at all. They see your strength. They see your ability to keep going. They see someone who has kept a soft heart alive in a world that has not always been kind. That truth moves them more than they can easily explain. So if you have ever felt unseen, stay right here. This part is important. They see more than your calm outside appearance. They see the hidden weight that sits behind it. They see the part of you that wakes up at night thinking, about things no one else knows. They see the side of you that learn to smile even while carrying disappointment, sadness, and long periods of emotional tiredness. They notice how often you give more than you get back, how often you listen more than you speak, how often you make space for others while quietly asking nothing for yourself. And what they feel when they see all that is not fear. It is a deep devotion. It is a strong wish to stand beside you in a real way, to share the weight, to make your load lighter in both practical and emotional ways, to become a place where your heart does not need to stay guarded every single second. Because what people need most is not cheers, not praise, and not empty excitement that burns bright and then fades quickly. What we need deep inside is to be truly seen, completely seen, not the polished version we show the world to survive. The real one, the tired one, the one still healing, the hopeful one, the one still learning how to trust again. And this person feels drawn to that full truth in you, not just the simple parts, but all of it together. That is why this love feels so different from others. It looks past the surface and chooses the soul. They do not want to marry you just to gain something for themselves. They do not see you as some kind of achievement. They are not trying to own you, control you, or show your love like a trophy. What they want is simpler and deeper than that. They want to care for you. They want to protect the soft part inside you. They want to help lift the strain you carry without making you feel weak for having it. Their love is not rushed. It is not reckless at all. It moves with clear purpose. It understands that healing needs time, that trust grows slowly over days, that old wounds do not disappear after one talk or one nice promise. So they are willing to be patient. They are willing to stay through the whole process. They are willing to show up again and again until their steady actions say what words alone never could. I am here. I am not leaving. You do not have to hold everything by yourself anymore. And notice this because it truly matters. They do not want to reduce your independence. They are not scared of your strength. Your strength is actually part of what draws them closer. They admire how you survived. They admire how you kept your heart open. They admire the courage it takes to still believe in closeness after facing disappointments. That is why their love is not about competing. It is about adding to each other. They want to stand next to your strength, not stand over it. That is something rare. And if you have ever been loved in a way that made you feel smaller, you already understand how powerful this difference feels. This person pays attention in a way most others do not. Many people only notice actions. They watch behavior. They react to what is easy to see. But this person listens for feelings. They notice energy. They hear what sits below your words. They sense when your voice has a small pause. They catch the sadness hidden inside a sentence that sounds normal to everyone else. They feel when your presence pulls back even a little. And instead of demanding an explanation right away, they stay gentle. They stay close. They let their presence speak. First, that is part of what makes this love so healing. It does not only respond to what you do, it responds to your full humanity. When love only reacts to your actions, it becomes something conditional. It grows when you seem easy and fades when you struggle. But when love responds to what you feel, it becomes steady, safe, and deep. It says, you matter here, not because you are doing well, but simply because you are you. And if that line reaches you, do not stop yet. Because this is where many people begin to understand why some love never felt safe before. This person has probably known pain too. They understand that people who have carried heavy loads for a long time do not always need advice. Sometimes they need quiet space. Sometimes they need room to breathe. Sometimes they need someone who can sit beside them without trying to fix the moment. This person wants to be that kind of steady presence in your life. They imagine a relationship where joy and sorrow are shared openly, not hidden away. A relationship where laughter can live together with healing, where difficult days do not threaten the connection. They actually make it stronger. Type marry. If a part of you still hopes someone wants to marry you for your heart, not to control you, they picture a future that feels peaceful instead of full of chaos, not filled with mixed messages, emotional confusion, or constant guessing. Peaceful, grounded, and real. They think about ordinary days with you, and somehow that feels special and sacred to them. Coffee already made in the morning. Quiet check-ins after a long day. A hand on your shoulder when your thoughts become too loud. The kind of silence that feels warm instead of uncertain. The kind of home where your nervous system can finally settle because love no longer feels like something that could suddenly vanish. They want to solve life with you, not fight against you. They want to create daily habits that make both of you feel protected and emotionally safe. They want the normal days, not only the thrilling moments. And that reveals so much because surface-level love becomes obsessed with emotional highs. Real love prepares itself for the quiet, ordinary days too. It asks, how can I soften this person's life? How can I help guard their peace? How can I become someone they never need to beg for consistency from? That is the future they picture with you. Stable, faithful, peaceful, still passionate, but deeply grounded. And if you are still reading this, maybe a part of you already understands that stability is not boring at all. Stability is sacred. Stability is what allows an exhausted heart to finally exhale without fear. They can sense that much of your suffering did not come from one single heartbreak. It came from being misunderstood over and over again, from loving deeply while receiving uncertainty in return, from staying committed while other people stayed undecided, from hoping somebody would finally choose you openly, fully, and without hesitation, only to be met with confusion, distance, or shifting emotions. They understand how exhausting that became for you. They see how it trained part of you to expect disappointment, to emotionally hold back, to keep one foot close to the exit just in case everything falls apart again. They understand why you became cautious, why you do not always express what you truly need, why trust feels expensive, why being genuinely chosen still feels difficult to believe even when you desire it deeply. And instead of criticizing those guarded parts inside you, they approach you with tenderness. They are not asking you to become easier to love. They are asking for the opportunity to love you honestly, to love you through actions that align with their words, through reliability that removes fear instead of creating more of it. They do not want you lying awake at night, wondering where you stand with them. They do not want you shrinking yourself just to avoid conflict. They do not want your heart learning yet another painful lesson about abandonment. They want to love you in a way that slowly teaches your body something completely different. That closeness can feel peaceful. That consistency can actually exist. That love can remain and endure. Comment shadow if these words are reaching a place in you that rarely feels understood. If the psychology of Carl Jung just uncovered something hidden inside your past relationships, if this idea feels almost unreal in its depth, keep following this feeling because the next part may touch something your heart has needed for a very long time. Still, this type of love will ask something from you too. Not immediately, not forcefully, and never through pressure. But eventually, it will ask for something that can feel more terrifying than pain itself. It will ask you to let it fully enter your life. Not the polished version of you, not the endlessly capable version that carries everything alone. The real version, the healing version, the part of you that still gets frightened. The part that still expects love to disappear right when it finally begins to feel safe. This love will remain patient, but it will softly ask you to stop preparing for its ending, because that is what emotional pain trains us to do. Pain teaches us to prepare for loss before love even has time to settle. It teaches us to remain guarded, to love halfway, to keep part of ourselves emotionally untouched so we will survive if somebody leaves. But the person we are speaking about is not preparing to leave. They are preparing to stay. And that single difference changes everything. It changes the way your body feels beside another person. It changes what a quiet Tuesday evening means. It changes what silence sounds like when nobody is using it as punishment. It changes how deeply you can finally rest when somebody beside you wants nothing except your honest truth. Type yes if you want me to reveal the hidden difference between genuine love and the narcissistic savior complex. So, if you have spent years surviving while remaining emotionally alert all the time, hear this carefully. Healthy love may feel unfamiliar at first. It may even feel uncomfortable in the beginning. But unfamiliar does not mean wrong. Sometimes unfamiliar simply means new. And sometimes new becomes the doorway to real healing. The deepest healing rarely happens completely alone. It happens inside safe connection. Inside a bond where you are seen without judgment, supported without control, loved without manipulation. That is what this person hopes to offer you. Not perfection, not a fantasy life without difficulty, but sincere presence, genuine care, and a steady heart beside yours through every season life brings. They want to know every layer of who you are. Your history, your fears, your private victories, your habits when exhaustion takes over, your silence when your emotions feel too heavy, your softness when you finally feel secure enough to stop pretending. And they do not move away from any of it. They move closer instead. Their love is quiet, but quiet does not mean weak. It is strong in the same way roots are strong. It does not require loud performances to prove itself. It grows slowly. It stays grounded. It remains steady. It appears in the small things that eventually become everything. Checking on you without needing to be asked. Remembering what overwhelms you. Protecting your peace when you are too drained to explain yourself, helping you without making it feel transactional, making everyday life lighter in simple ways. These things may sound small on the surface, but they are enormous to a heart that has carried too much for far too long. That is why this love can feel life-changing, not because it is dramatic, but because it is dependable. And dependable love is one of the rarest gifts a human being can ever receive. They are drawn toward your strength, but not because they want to compete with it. They are drawn to it because it tells the story of everything you survived. They know you have sacrificed parts of yourself for other people. They know you swallowed pain quietly and still continued forward. They know there were days when you held yourself together with nothing except determination and silent faith. And they are committed to becoming the kind of person who eases your burden instead of increasing it. They want your life with them to feel like relief. They want rest to become natural in your life, instead of something you only deserve after complete exhaustion. They want to notice your tiredness before you even speak about it. They want to share responsibilities without resentment, to love you in practical ways that protect your spirit and preserve your peace. This is not performance love. It is lived love. It is the kind of love that reveals itself in ordinary moments and continues revealing itself long after the excitement fades. They understand that vulnerability is not weakness. They understand that allowing somebody close to your heart is one of the bravest things a person can ever do. And they want to earn that trust every single day, not only when it feels easy or convenient. If this reached something deep inside you, comment alert below. Your soul already recognizes the truth. If you are feeling something while reading these words, do not dismiss it too quickly. Sometimes the heart recognizes truth before the mind fully understands why. So stay with this feeling for a moment. Allow it to speak, because there is a reason these words are reaching the places they are reaching inside you. They imagine marriage not simply as one grand event, but as a shared life built through thousands of small, loyal moments. Waking up beside you on peaceful mornings, holding you when old pain suddenly resurfaces, becoming the calm voice when your mind feels crowded with noise, becoming the steady hand when life unexpectedly feels too heavy to carry. They picture the quiet miracles, warm silence, shared routines, a look across the room that quietly says, "I am still with you." A home that feels safe instead of tense. A love that does not disappear the moment life becomes difficult. They want to become the reason your shoulders slowly loosen, the reason your breathing softens again, the reason you stop feeling like you constantly need to prepare yourself for disappointment. Not because they promise a flawless life, but because they promise a consistent one, a caring one, an honest one. They want to become the kind of partner whose actions answer your fears before your fears even have to speak aloud. And yes, this type of love is rare. It requires empathy, patience, emotional maturity. It requires a heart that values peace over control and presence over performance. But rare does not mean impossible. Rare simply means precious. Rare means valuable. Rare means something worth recognizing and protecting when it finally appears. Share this with someone who keeps attracting people who promise to rescue them emotionally, but only create more confusion. And if you have stayed with these words until now, maybe part of you already knows this message found you for a reason. Maybe part of you is beginning to believe that the love you once thought was unrealistic is actually the kind of love that fits your soul best. So hear this clearly now. You are not too difficult to love. You are not too complicated to understand. You are not invisible. The kind of love that truly wants to ease your pain does not arrive through chaos, confusion, and dramatic promises that disappear later. It arrives through patience, through steadiness, through a quiet and deep choosing that continues choosing you every single day. And when that love finally arrives, you will not need to perform to keep it. You will not need to shrink yourself to deserve it. You will not have to endlessly prove your value just to stop it from leaving. It will remain. It will meet the strongest parts of you with admiration and the most fragile parts of you with gentleness. It will not rush your healing process, but it will walk beside it patiently. It will not erase your past completely, but it will stop your past from being the only thing shaping your future. And slowly, without even realizing it at first, you will begin to understand something your heart has waited years to believe. Love was never supposed to feel like constant uncertainty. It was never supposed to feel like emotional survival. Real love does not keep testing whether you are worthy enough to stay. Real love stays present while you heal. It stays honest during difficult conversations. It stays gentle during your worst moments. And over time, your nervous system begins to trust what your soul has wanted all along. Not intensity, not chaos, not endless emotional guessing. Just peace, just sincerity. Just someone who continues choosing you long after the excitement settles into ordinary life.